Hi dear friends, greetings from our tea factory in Georgia. Now middle of October, almost end of the tea season here. It's raining outside, so we now not doing tea, just small bunches, almost finished the season. But we're trying the results of the year harvest. Also we do some last stages like baking of tea by UI tea technology, UI Shine Fujian tea technology. Also trying what we have more like white tea and red and other types. And we're planning also our furthermore development of the factory for next year and also seeing the results of this year. So this is a visit to close the season. Because next year we want to produce a bit more of tea and also focus on quality to bring more quality than the quantity. Here is our special room where we do hunbei. Chinese hunbei literally means baking of the tea. This technology originates from Moychay. It's north of Fujian province in mainland China. And there is rock tea or yancha or Moychay oolong tea. The most famous one is the Hunbao, Zhougui, Shuxian, Qilan, Baijiguan, many others. Qiluhan, of course. And actually, originally this technology, you put the same basket. In the middle there is a kind of a net. Before it was from bamboo, now it's from metal. But originally it was placed not on this electronic heater, which you can look. It's like that. The other side is a heater and some thermo. But originally you have, instead of this, you have a special kind of cement stand. Inside you have a hole. In the hole you have charcoal from some fruit trees, preferably. You can also use different charcoal, and you cover this charcoal with a layer of ash. And what type of charcoal, how thin or thick this level of ash on it, it's have a special tricks. You need to know how much. And also you, on pretty low temperature, you kind of slowly bake this, make this hunbei stage many hours, and sometimes even not one stage, like one stage, after one wait for 2-3 weeks, even a month, after that next stage, and this is traditional way. Now it's electronic, also even more cheaper tea, not even this technology, but just a regular machine for drying, kanzao, how it's called in Chinese, faster drying machine. We do it more high temperature for several times, and after have something like. Also, this technology you can meet in other regions, southern Fujian province, also Taiwan Island, but it depends of the place. But now it almost disappeared. Not so often you can see these kind of baskets. Still mostly in Moychay and not so bigger farms. They use a traditional technique with charcoal, and more you can find this electric one. What we do now here, we do also pretty specific type. We call it GABA hei cha. Why hei cha? Because we use also partially the steps for processing hei cha or dark tea, how it's called. This is a big flash like this, maybe 5-6 leaves. Also it have a lot of stems, not too much, but still it's pretty similar amount like you can find in original hei cha from Hunan province. Actually, what's interesting that this technology for hei cha production, what we have now, that bricks, some of technique was brought in 50s from here, from Georgia, to China. So it's still have kind of historical link. When I was in Anhui, in a museum, tea museum in Anhui in Hunan province, there they had also some story about Georgian scientists, Georgian tea technologists went to there and install some machinery for tea production in 50s. So this is quite interesting. And yeah, and here we also have vacuum fermentation stage. I will show you later, because now we just in current moment we're processing the same tea. It's a late tea for one of the late season, as I told now, like end of the season almost, middle of October. They make this specific type. Also kind of our old development, because we experiment all summer, all our seasons actually, because we're still developing our factory and new technologies here. They have many machinery and also many techniques from very different places, not only even China. And yeah, now we make this baking for this tea. What the baking actually do? It's remove kind of wetness in taste of tea, especially if tea not super strong fermented, like middle fermented. So lighter Roku loons, like Moychay loons, when you bake it, you make them more strong, more deep in taste, more biscuit kind of balsamic taste you can find. And also they're really fitting for long-term storage. Because when it's don't have this more qingxiang lighter taste, I think it's not so good to store long. It's mostly the taste can disappear much faster. So for this purpose we also make a baking for this type of tea. I also like the smell, because one of my favorite smells is the smells of this. Also in tea factory, when you do fermentation, when you do roasting of tea, when you do some other techniques, it's all have a real important purpose, but and also good smell. But here I think it is best. Now we are on our first floor of our factory. Here we have Weidiao or withering, the first stage, and now we do pretty uncommon type of tea, which we call GABA HA. Actually, we produce it from very big flesh like this. Actually, it's regularly 5 to 6 leaves. Sometimes a bit less, like 4, like here. Yeah, so it's older leaf. Also the same material used in the Hunan province and some other places for producing of heicha. This is why we also call it heicha in a way, because they use some steps which are mostly used for heicha production in China. And actually, yeah, like I already said, it originates from here in a way, some technologies. And also this is old leaf used for production of shomei tea, one of the types of white tea. It's quite common, but you need to use skills, because for production of such tea, from such strong material, you need long time withering. Like here we use up to 2-3 days sometimes for withering, especially now because it's quite cold already, it's middle of October. And also we need to really experiment a lot to make a really good taste out of pretty not perfect, how we can say, material. It's not perfect, just the old leaf. So to know the techniques, you need skills, you need time, and regularly during the summertime we don't have this time, but now we have, because not so much material, so we also do experiments with such type. And also I want to say, just for the same kind of flash also is a harvesting type for oolong tea, especially for southern Fujian, northern Fujian, somewhere in Taiwan, when you have machine harvesting oolongs. The first step, you have the big flash, and after a few technological processing, you need to finally broke the stems and throw away the stems, which made also on a machine. And you also have this old kind of leaf. But you have 17 steps to process it in the right way, which is why it's more complicated. So if you have, I already said, if you have a material like this, you really need to work on the processing. So now we're preparing tea for rolling. We just put them in a pile.
Yeah.
And now we're opening the roller. It's finished. So here's our GABA machine for vacuum fermenting, and we will put there the tea. Actually, there's all the sacks already. This is the last one. Actually, it looks like khinkali, traditional Georgian food. Yeah, it already smells incredible. Yeah, we will make such a great tea out of it. Now we need to close it down. This is our drying machine, the final stage for tea. Yeah, we actually have settings for time and temperature here, and now we're drying it for a few hours at 80 to 90 degrees. And now it's almost done, so we can open it and have a look. Yeah, actually you can put up to 70 kilo here, depending on the type of tea. So dear friends, we closing the season in Georgia. Here in the roller, the last bunch of tea, and we will finish soon. But we not finish fully because during the winter season we need to renovate the factory, bring some new equipment. See you next year and drink Georgian tea.